Pursuing perfection. Pursuing perfection requires a lot of an organization, mainly around financially and people. In cybersecurity risk management, there are two key questions that you need to ask yourself. One is, when will be enough? When will enough be enough? You need to find that balance, and that takes me to the second question. What is the correct amount of time and effort that you should an organization spend to achieve the balance in cybersecurity protection against an attacker or an attack? Knowing the answer to these two questions, you arrive to your risk tolerance. Now, once again, going back to perfection, there are several leading researchers right now, academically and professionally, that are seeking to find that number, to find the formula to calculate digital risk. But just don't look for perfection at this point. At this point, just find something that you and your organization can agree upon. If that is the amount of projects that dictates that, that cap, that risk tolerance, so be it. If it's something that is very clear, you have a service bringing a certain amount of revenue to the organization, all of a sudden that service has stopped working, and now you know how much revenue you're losing. Then you add, resources, times trying to fix it, plus any hardware you have to buy, and so on and so forth. You might have a better ballpark number, but let's not try to overcomplicate. Let's get something down on paper, if you will, and agree upon what is that limitation, because that will drive how much you're going to invest on a particular system, on a particular function in your organization. Right? So perfection, seeking that perfection, you might miss the strategic and the holistic way that cybersecurity impacts your organization. You might miss the forest. And burning out your employees is also a key factor here, because in pursuit of that, you're going to be measuring, perhaps for the sake of measuring, because right now is a trial and error, because you're looking for that particular number to the decimal point. Make sure to avoid that perfection. Enough is one of the toughest question and situation to be in identifying when you should stop investing, because right now you're not getting the return of your investment. The other thing is the security gaps will pop up in some other places. If you start focusing in one area so much that you're going to lag on others, that is very typical. It's something that you should be aware of. And for that perspective, to get you started on that, on this path, on this mission, if you will, keep in mind three questions. First, what are your organization's cybersecurity risks? Two, what are you managing the organization's security risks? How are you managing those? Through projects and a spreadsheet or on a dashboard or something, how are you aware of them and how are you managing them? And three, the cybersecurity risk reduction. Are you measuring that finishing that project, did it reduce the risk? Or because you're focusing on something else, you having cybersecurity standard exceptions, or you're behind your patching, or your MSP, your minimum security baseline has a deviation, but yet you finished that project. Did you really move the needle towards the green? So it's something that you need to be aware. Those three questions you need to ask yourself, right? What are your organization's cybersecurity risks? How are you managing the organization's cybersecurity risk? And are you monitoring, or how are you monitoring, or both, the risk reduction in your organization?